Welcome back. My name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to have an introduction to set symbolism, something that is commonly used, of course, with probability, but also is sometimes introduced when you're dealing with geometry. So, without wasting any more of your time, let's get started. So let's say I have a line, something along the lines of this. So try to make this as straight as possible, like that. And then I have the points. Let me change the color. I have the points here, A. I have the point here, B. And I have a point here called C. Now, when we're using set symbolism, we're trying to find a shorthand to deal with a combination of different things. So the first one we're going to deal with is the union. And the union is as follows. The union has the following indication, the smiling shape. So when we're talking about union, we're talking about combining two or more things. We're combining two or more things. Combining, or you could say combine things for short. Let's just keep it simple as possible. So going back over here to my little line, if you will, I could do something as follows. I could say something like, let's see here, give you another, all right, here we go. I can say line segment AB, so this is going to be a line segment. Union, or combined with line segment BC, is going to equal line segment AC. That's what's happening. So in other words, if I combine AB and I combine BC, I get AC. That's what's happening here. And so it's a shorthand way of trying to describe something that you might make a visual picture of, if you will. That's kind of one of the main purposes. Now, another type of set symbolism is the intersection. And this is where you're talking about where, two or more things meet. That's what's happening here. So going back to my example above, if I were to change this guy, I'm just going to write it again for the sake of simplicity. If I were to change him and I were to say line segment AB, the intersection with line segment BC, well, the only answer for that is going to be, let's see here, the point B. In other words, AB and BC, the only place where they meet, where they're both in the same place, if you will, is right here at point B. That's what's happening. So we learned about union. I guess I should write these out fully for you. This is union over here. This is intersection right here. Like that. Now, there's also some other things that we could talk about. We could talk about a set. And so to give you an example of a set, I'm just going to write one out for you real quick, make it as simple as possible. And so let's say we have set D, so we're going to say D equals, and we're going to have inside it point A, point B, point C, whatever you want to call it. Notice the use of the curly brackets. That's the main important thing. And so let's say we have also a set E. And so set E has points A and points B inside it only. And so now we can talk about a subset. A subset is when you take from a larger group, you take a piece of that larger group. Now, this is hard to understand when you just kind of talk about it theoretically. So, if I wanted to write it, and by the way, the symbol is, because I forgot to explain that part, the symbol is this little guy right here, like a little sideways mouth. This is a subset. So, subset right there. And you're taking from a larger group, if you will. It's a set within a set. It's another way to look at it. Set within a set. And so if we look at these guys here, we can say that set E is a subset of D. In other words, if you look closely at these two sets right here above, you can see right here that we have an A and a BC and then an AB. In other words, these two guys right here are found in this set right here. So E is a subset of D. That's how we say that. Now, if we want to go back over here to my example, we can also write it as follows. So I got ABC, as you can see here, and I can say line segment AB is a subset of line segment AC. In other words, AB going from here to here is contained within AC going from here to here. That's kind of what's happening. And so you can see how this kind of lines up. Now, the last one we need to talk about before we conclude this particular video is an empty set. An empty set is when nothing kind of meets the criteria of what you're trying to look at. So the terminology for that, it could be curly brackets that are empty. That's one example of an empty set, or it could be a zero with a slash through it like this. That's another way to do that. So if I had to give you an example of this, if I had to just draw you what this could look like, I have a line like this, and I have a line going down like this. I have my points A and my points B, like so. And then I have my point D and my point C. And so I could say here that the union of ray CD, so that means it's going down like this, off this way. So ray CD, CD, and the intersection of with line AB is going to yield an empty set like that. That's what's happening. And so this is another tool that we can use for describing things. In other words, there is no place where ray CD is going down like this, where it intersects with line segment AB. They never touch, they never intersect, so it's an empty set, if you will, if you want to do it like that. This is a different way to handle the same idea. So let me go back and kind of summarize what we talked about, and then I will conclude this video. So in this video, we talked about set symbolism. We talked about unions, where you combine things, intersections, where you try to find out where two things meet at, if you will. And we also talked about sets. So a set and a subset. Those are other ideas we talked about, and also an empty set. So these are ideas that are commonly used in mathematics. Of course, this is introduced in geometry, at least in the sources that I've looked at, and it's also something you see again a lot with probability. So my name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. Thank you for listening and watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.